Hello guys, I am back from another review and today we talk about a brand new series called What If Deku Was in the Holy Grail War? I decided to call it that because, well, FGO sounded a little bit something else. So yeah, so let's begin. Before we start, I actually made a brand new playlist for, well, this What If. I decided to do it because, well, it sounded a bit cool. And mostly because this is actually a playlist that I use for, well, playing FGO on my cell phone. Yeah, I play FGO now. I recently played it because, well, I thought it was really cool. And then after that, I was sucked into the rabbit hole. I recently also watched, well, Prisma Iliad. Not gonna lie, it's really good. Anyway, let's begin the actual story, I guess. So, Izuku was born in Japan and he was half German. His father was German while his mother was pure Japanese. Izuku was a pretty great child until the day that is where he was told that he was quirkless. Because of that, well, almost all of the kids turned their back on him. Even though he had good grades, they mostly ignored him, but don't usually bully him because of his really high, well, grades and charismatic personality. But his so-called best friend Bakugo, which she's a girl by the way in this What If, well, she didn't like that and kept bullying him. So, a few years have gone by. Izuku, well, never really liked Bakugo. It's, well, maybe like half a year now. As in half a year, they're basically in, well, not fifth grade, I meant third grade. Izuku was still being bullied by Bakugo, but some of his other classmates tried to defend, well, him from, well, Bakugo's horrible, well, bullying. But most of them, well, couldn't stop her because of her quirk. Her quirk was an explosion quirk. Because of that, well, she would always beat on Izuku. So, after one day they were brought to the principal's office. After Izuku told, well, the principal about, well, Bakugo's bullying, well, the teacher, well, scolded Bakugo. Her father, being, wait for a sec, Masuru, says this. Bakugo, I'm not really happy about that. I'm gonna be telling your mother about this later. She was mad. When Izuku was leaving with his parents, well, Bakugo comes towards Izuku at Mach speed and explodes his face, creating a big scar. Both, well, Inko and, well, actually I don't really have a name for Izuku's father. Let's just call him Izuku's father. Anyway, after that, well, they never usually talk anymore. They even made a restraining order. So, after, well, that year of, well, wait for a second, elementary school, it's soon going to be their fourth year of, well, middle school. Not middle school, I meant their fourth year of, well, wait for a second, my throat. Fourth year of elementary school. Izuku was told by his parents that they're gonna be moving to Germany, apparently for something important. So, after that, Izuku was pretty much happy, finally leaving Japan, because, well, Izuku was after all bullied by Bakugo, and now doesn't like to, well, consider himself as a Japanese person, but mostly a German person most of the time. So, a few years, Not not a few years, I meant like a few months have gone by. When Bako goes to, well, Izuku's house because, well, her mother, well, told Bako that she needs to apologize to Izuku. So, when she comes to the house, she sees a for sale sign. She was confused. After going to, well, Izuku's parents, well, they told Bako about Izuku moving to Germany. She was shocked, but also angry at herself, saying, "Damn it, why did I do that?" She starts going towards Izuku's bedroom. She sees Izuku packing all of her things. I meant all of his things. Wait for a second, my nose. So, Bako says this, "Izuku, why are you leaving?" Izuku doesn't talk to Bako because she doesn't have the right to talk to, well, Izuku. After all, she did bully him. Bako tried apologizing to him, but Izuku just ignored it. Bako forced Izuku to say, well, that he accepts her apology, but Izuku doesn't talk. Bako, saddened, Izuku said these words to Bako, "I'm gonna be leaving tomorrow. I hope to never see you again." Bako, when she heard that, she leaves crying, saying, "It's my fault. I didn't really mean to do that." She starts crying and crying. When she comes back to, well, to the Katsuki household, well, Mitsuki comes and sees Bako crying. She says this. "Wait, Bako, what happened?" She says this. "Izuku's leaving for Germany. He's going to be going to Germany." As Mitsuki hears that, she says this. "Wait, what? Why are they leaving to Germany?" As she says this, "I don't know. It's my fault." She starts crying. So, Mitsuki decides to go to the, well, Midoriya household as she knocks on the door and says, why did why did my daughter was I meant why did my daughter cry about, well, Izuku leaving?" Well, both Inko and Izuku's father explained that they're leaving for Germany for a special reason. That special reason is that they want to make Izuku learn of his past, or specifically his, well, heritage back then. His heritage of being a German. So, after a while of talking, Mitsuki accepted that. So, the next day comes, as is the day that they're gonna be leaving. So, Izuku was onto the moving truck. Bakugo, when she saw that, she starts crying. She's on the street crying. Everybody sees it, except for Izuku, which Izuku just ignores. So, one of his friends from school says this, "Goodbye." Izuku says this, "Goodbye." So, after they left, the is the Midoriya household. I meant the Midoriya household was, well, was sold to another person. This person was another girl. This girl had white hair, but also red hair, like half and half. This girl was named Shoto Todoroki, and the number 2 hero was living there. And that number 2 hero is Endeavor. So, let's go back to Izuku. So, Izuku was in the airport, basically looking around as he sees some, well, German snacks. He tells his mother, Inko, to basically buy them. When he first tasted them, they felt amazing. They, Izuku absolutely loved them, and I think I remember something about Germany. There was like it's basically like chips, but except, well, they're basically made of apples, like dried up apples. I heard of them, and when I first tasted them, they tasted absolutely good. My classmate basically gave them to me one time. It absolutely tasted delicious. Apparently, they're from Germany, so just imagine Izuku eating those. So, a few, weeks of, flying, because, Germany and Japan are too far away, as when they made it there, they were welcomed by a friggin' limousine. And also, some maids. So, after going into the limousine with his family, they were brought to a gigantic ass mansion. So, after going into the mansion, a butler appears as he says this. Nice to meet you. I am the homunculus known as Alfred. I will gladly serve you, the Ironheart family. As Zuko says this, Ironheart? I thought we're called the Midoriyas. As Inko says this, that's her father's last name, back when we were not married. As Izuku says this, oh, okay. So, Izuku sees two people. These two people were a man and a girl. They were pretty old, as the man says this. Oh, my lovely grandchild. Oh, it's so lovely to see you. Izuku says this. Who is that? As she says this. Oh, that's your grandfather. Izuku says this. Grandpa! As he says this. Oh, you're such an energetic boy. So, did you tell him yet? As she says this. Oh yeah, Izuku. Izuku says this. What is it, Mom? As she says this. Well, I want to show you something. While for... Wait for a second. Izuku's father was also bringing him to somewhere important as well. They brought him to a room. This room is filled with books, magical items, and weird looking artifacts. As Izuku says this, what is this place? It looks weird. As Inko says this, well, allow me to tell you something. We're not really human. As Izuku says this, what do you mean, Mom? As she says this, we're mages. Izuku says this, what? Mages like the ones in like movies and things like that? As she says this, no, they're more like poor interpretations of us. Us mages, well, we're technically more powerful than those quirk users. And Izuku says this, so that means I'm a mage? As he said, as Izuku's father says this, yes. In fact, you're one of the most powerfulest. Not only that, you're part of the greatest family ever, the Ironheart family. Izuku says this, the Ironheart family, as he says this. Yes, we're basically like the magical council. Basically, we rule this land. Actually, we actually rule the entire world of mages. And any person that tries to defy us are instantly killed. As Izuku says this. So, that means we're really powerful. As they say this. Yes, most people don't know us unless if they know the Holy Grail War. Izuku says this. What is this Holy Grail War? As they say this. Well, You'll learn very soon. Maybe when you're 15. Okay? As Izuku says this. Um, right, Dad. So, d- wait for a second. His grandfather brings him somewhere. His grandfather said this. Okay, Izuku, you're gonna be going to this school. Izuku says this. What school is this? As he says this is a school for mages. The greatest school for mages ever. In fact, it was actually created by my great 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 grandfather. Also known as your great 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 great. Izuku says this. Okay, I get it. But that means, as he says this. Yes. That means you're technically the most powerful person in the school. Maybe you're right beside the principal. Anyway, so, you're gonna be learning how to use Magecraft very soon, including learning how to use Mystic Codes. Izuku says this. What are Mystic Codes? He explains Mystic Codes are basically like magical items, like for example, like Shinji's like book, the what's that called? The Grimoire. I can't remember because I never watched that anime yet. I am planning to, but don't you dare spoil it for me. And also, for another example, the arms that were used by. I can't remember her name, but she was from Fate Apocrypha, which I already watched and was amazing. I just love it. Mostly because of Sieg and like Joan the Arc. Also, Izuku also learned how to use, something a little bit dangerous. He learned how to basically create guns. Not normal guns, Mystic Code guns. Izuku created basically a mix of a minigun and a regular old pistol, which instead of like firing normal bullets, it basically acts as Kirisugu's gun, like in Fate Zero. Yeah, Fate Zero. They can instantly kill a mage in an instant, basically. But it can also kill a regular old heroic spirit if they want, or even a servant, or even a normal person can't even fathom how powerful it is. It can instantly kill a normal ass person with just one shot. And Izuku learned how to create a special blade, which can, how do I say it? It's able to use magic, basically. With the help of his, wait for a second. With the help of magical circuits, Izuku is able to create, blasts of black fire. But not only that, Izuku is able to create a similar type of fire to, John the Arc Alter or Jolter. Basically, like, similar to, like, the Flames of Hatred. But except, Izuku is able to manipulate the fire a little bit less, barbarically. So, not only that, his hilt, which is basically, or should I say scabbard? Actually, let's just call it a scabbard. His scabbard, also known as his, blade holder or the sword holder, also an axe. Making it, extra deadly because, it's able to manipulate the earth itself. So, it's basically able to, like, for example, create a pillar of, rock or create dust storms. So, after getting into the mage school, Izuku was praised. Like, praised. He even gotten a friend, which he calls his brother in arms, named Hans Alistair. Hans Alistair was another member of a pretty well-known family in Germany. Not only that, he was going to be participating in the Holy Grail War. So, when Izuku turned 15, he was told of the Holy Grail War. Izuku was told that he's going to be representing the ruler class. If you don't know, the ruler class is basically like a moderator for the other, Holy Grail Wars. Like, for example, like, Joan the Arc over there. So, yeah, this is actually a spoiler to like Fate Apocrypha, by the way. So if you want to skip it, then skip it. So, in Fate Apocrypha, that Holy Grail War was a bit different. In that Holy Grail War, there were two sides. The first side is known as the Red Faction, and the other one is called the Black Faction. I meant Black Faction. So, those two, well, fighting factions were given one servant each of the, well, of the classes. Like, for example, one Lancer for the black and one Lancer for the red. Like that. So, because of that, John the Arc has to basically go into that Holy Grail War so they can stop, well, or at least, like, moderate it. That's what Izuku's going to be. A moderator of sorts. Or, let's just say something else entirely soon. Maybe even the next episode soon. So, yeah, so this is going to be the end of the episode because this is going to be, well, too long. So, yeah, so I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.